Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and good afternoon. In this series of lecture, we will be looking at accounting for non-profit organizations. There are several types of entities that we have looked at before. The first was sole proprietorship, where the business was owned by one person. And then we have looked at partnerships where the business is owned by two or more persons. And then there's the corporations or companies where the share is the ownership of the company is owned by more than one person, and that the ownership is easily transferable to the sale and issue of shares. The fourth types of organization that we'll be looking at today is the non-profit organizations. So non-profit organizations are organizations that are set up not with the intention to pursue profit, but rather to hold activities, events for the benefit of the members of the organization. So in this lesson, we will look at what are non-profit organizations. We will look at their type of expenditure, specifically looking at the differences between revenue expenditure and capital expenditure. And then we will look at the types of income that non-profit organizations get. And then we will look at the types of accounts, and finally we will look at how the activities and the financial positions of the non-profit organization is disclosed in the financial statements. So firstly is what is meant by non-profit organization. It is an organization that is established not with the goal for generating income. So generally they have other goals in the setting up of the organizations. For example, there are organizations such as clubs, societies, Society for Housing Estate. So they have set up the organization to pursue the interest of the members of the organization. In Malaysia, non-profit organizations are established under the Societies Act 1966. Societies Act 1966 defined non-profit organizations as any club, company, partnership or association of 7 or more persons, and whatever its nature or object. These organizations may be set up as a temporary, or they may be set up for permanent reason. Okay. So by looking at this alone, then we do not see the differentiating factor between non-profit organizations and profit organizations, because companies, partnerships are also might as well can be profit organizations. But there are exceptions to this that the Societies Act 1966 mentioned. The Societies Act 1966 excludes these types of organizations from being categorized as a non-profit. So it says that companies registered under Companies Act 1965, they are not regarded as non-profit. They will be profit organizations as recognized by the Companies Act. And then there's the companies or organizations registered under any other written law. So if the organizations is registered under a different law, then they are not categorized as non-profit organizations. Then there's the trade unions. Trade unions are a society among workers of organizations. Because they fall under separate legal or separate law, so they are not covered by the Societies Act as a non-profit organization. Other exclusions are companies, partnerships, or organizations established for profit. So if those companies or partnerships and organizations are established for the main purpose of getting profit, then they automatically will not be regarded as a non-profit organizations under the definition of Societies Act. And then cooperatives. Okay, so cooperatives will be covered directly under Cooperatives Act, so they are not included in the Societies Act as a non-profit organization. Other exclusions are organizations related to registration of schools or part of schools curricula. Similarly, schools, management of schools, or parent-teachers association are not regarded as a non-profit organization under the Societies Act 1966, although they are set up not for the purpose of profits, but they fall under a different law. Okay, they are not covered under Societies Act, but they are very much similar to the non-profit organizations that operate under the Societies Act 1966. Okay. So what are the characteristics of non-profit organizations? Non-profit organizations have members. Okay, the organizations have members, and then the expenses of the organizations are also funded by members. So they are run, they are owned, they are funded by members. Activities are run, and the activities that are run are also run for the purpose of fulfilling the needs of the members. So they are owned by members, they are managed by members, they are funded by members, and the activities are to fulfill the needs of the members. So the members of the organizations are the central people within the non-profit organization. We have mentioned that the main source of funding for the organization, for the non-profit organization, is it comes from the member. Specifically, what would be the main types of revenue sources of non-profit organizations? They could be coming from annual subscription fees that are charged on the members. So the members, in order for them to be part of the organization, they may need to pay annual subscription fees. They may also be charged a lifetime subscription fee. The lifetime subscription fee is when the member will only need to pay one time, and by paying that one time, they have the rights of using the facility or being a part of the member for the rest of his life. Non-profit organizations may also generate their income from conducting activities. For examples of activities that they may conduct are sale of food at cafe, if they have a cafe. Other revenue source of non-profit organizations include income from activities such as social gatherings that they organize. So they may organize social gatherings, and any income derived from that is part of their revenue source. And then they may invest some of the money that they collected from the members. They invest in investments that give out dividends to the organization. So these dividends will be a sort of source of income for the organization. And number 6 is donation. So they may get donation from members or non-members of the organization in order for them to run the activities that may benefit some groups of people. Okay, so they may receive donation as a source of income.